Would you still vote for Kamala even though they're money laundering money from other foreign countries?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Versus his crimes.
Oh, okay. Wow. Right now, in the past 7 days, Joe Biden and the Kamala administration, they've given $17.2 billion to foreign nations, but have helped very little with the hurricane that occurred throughout North Carolina and Florida. What do you think about that? How do you feel about like what just happened in the past week? Because Kamala and Biden gave $17.2 billion to foreign nations, but aren't helping victims in America. What do you think about that?
I'm proud to announce a new $2.4 billion package of security assistance. I've also directed the Pentagon to allocate all the remaining security assistance funding that has been appropriated for Ukraine, period.
We have a new support package, $7.9 billion. This will be a great help.
President Joe Biden has announced new defense support for Taiwan. Biden has approved $567 million in new equipment, services, and training, the highest amount of such funding on record.
We have rivers that are still rising. The danger is still occurring for a lot of people.
And by the way, as the FEMA can tell you, they had pre-positioned an awful lot of material throughout that area, from the Bend all the way up into Tennessee. And so the idea that we weren't prepared, the question is, no one knew exactly how devastating it would be. We knew it would be significant, and we've got a lot already in place, but there's more. But here's the point. I'm going to be asking the American people to continue to help fund the needs of these people. It's not going to be one hit and it's over. It's going to take a hell of a long time. It's going to cost a hell of a lot of money. But this is the United States of America, and we've got to do it.
It's your boy Nick, guys, and today we're here in Tampa, Florida, and we're going to be asking people what they think about Mr. Sleepy Joe giving $17.2 billion to foreign nations, but they haven't given anything to help people during Hurricane Helena. Very, very interesting video we got here today, guys. We're going to go ahead and start interviewing people. Mic's up, mic's good, mic check, mic check. Guys, Trump or Kamala?
Huh?
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
How do you feel that Joe Biden, he's given $17.2 billion to foreign nations, but hasn't helped much with the hurricane?
I think
in the past week.
Yeah. I think there's so much happening that each administration have to adjust. But I gotta go. Thank you so much. Okay.
Alrighty. Guys, I can't even make these numbers up though. In the past less than 7 days, $17.2 billion have been given to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan, but very little has been going towards Hurricane Helena. Excuse me, ma'am, would you like to vote for Trump or Kamala?
Would I like to vote?
Yeah, for Trump or Kamala?
Yeah, I'm voting for Kamala.
Okay, why would you like to vote for Kamala?
Why? Well, I like her, number one, and I wouldn't vote for Trump under any circumstances.
So I have a question, because right now in the past 7 days, Joe Biden and the Kamala administration, they've given $17.2 billion to foreign nations, but have helped very little with the hurricane that occurred throughout North Carolina and Florida. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think they're separate funds, so we have to help other people and we have to help ourselves. So I'm sure the cities, they've declared a state of emergency so we can get federal funds, and I'm sure they'll be coming.
And what do you think about like us putting other nations before America by giving them more income or more revenue instead of our own states?
I don't look at it that way. I think we're a rich country and we have to lead by example and be compassionate. So I think we can take care of ourselves and other people at the same time.
By giving other nations more money than we give ourselves? Okay. Alrighty. Well, I think that's very interesting, but I think that we should put America first and we should give our own nation more income than we are to foreign nations. Trump or Kamala 24?
Donald Trump, 2016, 2020, 2024, and if he runs in 2028, I'll vote for him again then.
Donald Trump all day long. Yes. We just saw him in Tuscaloosa. He was amazing. Yes, he was throwing out fast food to all the kids. It was just amazing. He wanted to be with the people, and that's who he is. He is a man of the people, and he wants to solve problems in this country. He's the only one who's going to do it, and he's the only one who is about this country and not other countries. This is it. No.
The left likes to create them. It's like, hey, let's create an issue to say we solved it. And the problem is they don't even solve it. It's like, at least solve it if you're going to create it. They don't do either. It's terrible. I feel like I'm talking like them. But anyways.
So listen, there's not one perfect person out there, but he is the best person.
He is perfect. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's not. No one's perfect. No human being is perfect, but he is the one who is the perfect person to solve our solutions and what we need right now.
I like. Oh, she's fired up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Broadcasting. I know sound bites. Those are perfect.
Would you like to vote for Trump or Kamala?
No English.
Oh, ¿quieres presidente Trump or Kamala?
No Trump.
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué?
No sé.
No sé. Trump or Kamala?
Not for Trump, that's for sure.
Why would you say that?
Because I just feel he's not good for the masses.
Okay. And how do you feel about like what just happened in the past week? Because Kamala and Biden gave $17.2 billion to foreign nations, but aren't helping victims in America. What do you think about that?
Say it again now.
Yeah, so basically, Biden and Kamala has given $17.2 billion to foreign nations, but they're not helping hurricane victims in America. What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty horrible considering I have nothing to eat, nothing to drink, no money. I don't even have one cigarette.
Right now, in the past week, if you're not aware, Kamala and Joe have given around $17.2 billion to foreign nations, but have given very little help to victims of the hurricane in America. So we just wanted to know what you think about it as a resident here.
I am fairly disappointed, though I'm not surprised, unfortunately. I don't really deal with politics or don't really put my time and energy into it because there's not a lot that I can do personally. But I can say that there's plenty of things that they do that I don't agree with. That included, we are at a national crisis right now, especially down here in the Southwest. It's not just Florida, it's North Carolina, and my friends are trying to piece their lives back together after the hurricane. Some of them lost their pets. They lost like years of like savings in their like piggy banks that they've had forever because they didn't want to use a bank. You know, like it's unfortunate, and it's I can only put my heart out and, you know, give my best to my community.
And Trump or Kamala?
Wait.
You.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. Let me ask you.
You're going first? Okay.
Okay. Before you have my permission to publish or anything of your videos, what are you doing?
So we're asking people, because you know what happened recently? In the past week, $17.2 billion has been given to foreign nations, but by Biden and Kamala, but they're not doing anything to help our country. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, my questions are before you have permission to publish or...
Oh, we're asking people for the permission, like...
That, well, you don't have that yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking you some questions first before I give you...
So we're asking people if they like Kamala or Trump.
Well, who do you like?
I'm kind of like independent, but that's why I'm asking people like what they think, because I know people have different...
I'm not saying what my opinion is yet. I'm omitting everything at this point. But, are you from Tampa?
No.
Are you in college?
Yeah, well, kind of. It's kind of complicated.
Okay, so you know the laws on publication rights and stuff like that. It's all off record right now.
Oh, okay.
You understand that? You do not own the rights to this. But I happen to be of some clout here in Tampa Bay because I'm the most prolifically filmed street performing musician in Tampa Bay. Bar none.
Wait,
I mean, I like magic. I like it a
Are you guys?
I also like Michael Jackson a lot, so I started from there because I like his dancing. So I just, you know, like if you had Billie Jean on, I'd be like, bump.
Are you a dancer too? No. Well, what are your thoughts about Trump and Kamala?
Honestly, I'd rather have Trump back in office. I mean, everyone has stimulus checks. Every world was running more fluently. Shit was going smoother.
Trump. Okay, so how do you guys feel about Biden giving $17.2 billion in the past week to foreign nations but not helping during the hurricane?
Let me think.
Well,
I mean, it just goes to show, like...
It goes to show, yeah, the attention to our country, man.
Yeah. His foreign policies not... I mean, his money's not where his mind is. Or his mind's not where the money is, so he really needs to figure it out. Yeah.
So do you guys think that is just a way for them to like funnel money to like BlackRock and like military organizations like Lockheed Martin and things like that through Ukraine and Israel and all these other nations, or no?
Ask him first, bro. I gotta think.
Honestly, don't really know. Like, a couple of my family members and friends have money in Lockheed Martin, so they're doing well stock-wise. But the idea of it's not good, I would say, because I mean you're a bunch of warmongers.
Right, yeah.
Kamala and Biden are big warmongers. It's killing our country, especially in the past week. I mean, all that money is going to a country that we have no care about, and a whole state is suffering because of it. So
that's $17.2 billion. I'm not going to make that in my lifetime. Well, maybe I will, hopefully. But look, think about it like this, guys. $17.2 billion is a lot of money, and we still have people saying that you shouldn't vote for Trump because Kamala's black and she's a woman, right? So what do you guys think about that? Like, would you say that because people will call you racist for not voting for Kamala because she's black? What do you think about that?
I'm not from America myself. I'm from Russia, so I can kind of speak on the whole racism thing from like school, which I didn't really care about, but I know some people have different views. I don't think we should pick our candidate just because of the race. I don't think it's very smart and very like appropriate, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I agree. I think politics is becoming more of a social card, and who could like have better PR. I think it should just be the better well-being of the country. I mean, I think it's stupid where it's coming to.
I think it's actually kind of racist to say that people are racist, I guess, for not voting for his particular candidate. So that's what I would say about the whole situation.
Oh, Harris.
Harris? Why Harris, sir?
It's for the future.
Okay. What do you think about them giving $17.2 billion to foreign nations in the past week? He said to buy stock and he has to go. Okay. I guess he's one of them. So guys, that's the problem with our nation. We have corrupt politicians and individuals taking advantage of our economy, and they don't care about the future of our nation. They just want their pockets to get bigger. But as you heard it from him, guys, get with the program, vote for Kamala in 2024.
I had my AirPods in.
Sorry. Can we ask you really quickly, Trump or Kamala 24?
I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. I was leaning one way, and then after the debates, my vote's kind of like just up in the air right now.
What was it before? Let me ask you that.
It was Trump before. Okay. And now I'm just not so sure.
Okay. So, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So in the past 7 days, $17.2 billion was given to foreign nations by the Biden-Kamala administration. But here's the interesting part. Hurricane Helena that just occurred, they're not willing to give any money, and they feel obligated to. So they're not giving the equivalent of $17.2 billion. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel sad. My community is not being treated as well as the foreign parties that, you know, that's kind of our money. So yeah, good point. I didn't know that. Thanks for bringing awareness.
And I think that it's important I just think it's important for us to vote, because I've never been like a Republican or Democrat, but I just think like looking into the policies and the things that they preach, I think definitely Donald J. Trump has a lot more better things for we the people, and Kamala benefits more of the rich people when you look at it. I mean, what do you?
Yeah, good. good food for thought, for sure. I still need to do some additional research before I vote. But yeah, I was surprised to kind of reevaluate this year, and we'll see what happens as I, in the next couple days, make up my mind. But thanks, guys.
Alrighty, thank you. Thank you, you too. Have a good day. Trump or Kamala 24?
Kamala.
Why Kamala?
Why Kamala?
Yeah, so people could learn, that's why.
I think she's more of a reasonable person, looking at facts, trying to deliver a message that's sound, and she has a plan, and she's been specific about the plan.
Yeah.
The other person seems to speak in generalities and doesn't seem to want to communicate with me. She seems to communicate with me. And it's time for a woman to be president.
The first woman president, right?
Woman president.
Okay.
To boot, it's just fabulous.
I think it's like racist that people don't want to vote for Kamala, right? Because like she's a black woman or something.
Well, I don't want to get into that. All I know is that to me, it's time for a woman president, and it's just fabulous.
Okay. I have a question though, because this is one thing. Because I'm not like to a particular party. I just kind of try to vote with common sense.
Yeah.
But one thing I do know is like Joe Biden, Kamala, in the past week they given like $17.2 billion to other nations. But I've done very little to help with the hurricane Helena. What do you think about that as a Kamala supporter?
So, I'm an immigrant. Everyone's an immigrant in this country unless you're a First Nations person.
I'm a native.
There you go. So you know what I'm talking about, right? So we've all come from a different place. We're all here together in one big world, and we're probably the most financially capable people in the world. I think it's our responsibility to help other folks. And
I agree.
In terms of Helena, I agree. The good news, if there's a silver lining of good news, even though I think over 100 people have perished, which is horrible, one is one too many. Notwithstanding that horrible event, at least we are collecting ourselves to help as we can. As a taxpayer, I'm happy to help any way I can. So.
No, I agree with you, and I believe that a lot of like most Americans, I think, are sane in the mind. They're willing to help towards the right causes. Yeah. But I think the issue is obviously like the presidential candidacy, and it does matter to an extent who's in office. And so that's why I say like I think it's odd how $17.2 billion was given to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. But then when it comes to the hurricane for American citizens, he doesn't really want to allocate much money towards it. But these are Americans.
I don't know all the facts. There must be a reason or reasons why people do things. I doubt it's just a whim, or I doubt that it's just out of a hat. There must be reasonings to it. I don't know what they are. And I understand. I have family who's been hurt too by the hurricane, so I get it. I really do. I get it. I don't know why politicians make decisions. I don't know. I'm not in their seat, so I can't really speak for them as to why they make decisions. You know, gosh, I have difficulty sometimes deciding if I want a latte or a cappuccino in the morning. So it depends why we make decisions, and I'm not privy to those reasons.
Yeah, and I think it's actually interesting because, like I said, I've never been really like Democrat or Republican, but I do think like in thinking on my own. So like whenever I look at like let's say RFK Jr., he did bring up like President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. What they would do is they would actually use Ukraine, Israel, and all these other nations, these foreign nations. They would donate the money as a way to funnel money back to America through money laundering, and it's all to give back to the money industrial complex.
I don't know anything about that. All I know is that I love this country. We're all one American. All of us are Americans. I'm a naturalized American. I'm really proud to be here. Yeah. It's a fabulous country. I love the people here. Let's just try to work together. How about we do that? Yeah. Can we do that? No
I agree.
What our political stripes are. Let's just work together and make this country even better than it already is. It's a great country. I'm very proud to be here. Let's just work together. That's all I have.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. I don't like how inflation is looking, how our economy has gotten worse throughout the past 4 years.
Arguably, you could say it's the other way around, that more people are working than ever before. Yes, inflation is difficult because of many external reasons that we have no control over. The president's not going to change that, regardless of stripe. He or she's not in control of inflation.
To an extent, though. To an extent.
Do you
To
really
an
know?
extent.
Are you sure? Do you know the facts?
Yeah, so like to an extent, because
tell me specifically the facts.
Okay, specifically the fact, I was actually just talking to a guy like literally just 15, 20 seconds before I talked to you.
Okay.
And he said to vote for Kamala and invest into stocks. And so this is the thing. So whenever certain presidents,
So what does that have to do with it? You said that the president can control inflation.
yeah,
Tell
so
me how he does
yeah,
that.
so they can
He or
control
she can do that.
they can control the economy and inflation, and that's what I'm telling you.
Well, tell me.
So depending on the president, for example, they like let's say if Trump gets into office, like the gas prices of certain stocks, they're gonna skyrocket up.
You don't
but
know
like
that.
no, that's
Nobody
actually
knows that.
no
Nobody
because
knows that.
no because that's the thing. So like if Kamala becomes president though, then energy price stocks are gonna go up. Like certain things
Now,
go
why-
up.
Can you tell me specifically why? That's
The reason
conjecture.
that the reason
Tell me
that
the
is
facts.
because they enact certain policies that promote,
Like-
for example, like being energy green. That's something that usually like this side would promote, and something that like
So
people.
wait a minute. If energy green is being promoted, then shouldn't that then create a lesser demand on petroleum? So how can
Yeah,
that be?
that's the point that I'm making. Because there is a higher demand on energy green, there is a lower demand on petroleum.
So why would then gas prices go up? I don't get.
No, I'm not talking about gas prices.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the stocks.
Yeah.
So like
I'm
for
an investor.
yeah.
I'm very happy. Yeah. Look.
You're happy with the Kamala stock market?
No. It's not her stock market.
Are you happy?
It's not Trump's market. It's not Kamala's market. It's our market. We decide. You decide. This person decides. I decide what the market will bear. If I don't buy, it's not going to go up. If I buy, it's going to go up. How can you explain for the last, regardless of political stripe, how can you explain that the S&P 500 has gone up 8% on average every year for the last 90 years?
I would say that's because we're in the United States of America, but inflation has increased because we've been getting hundreds of billions of dollars printing it towards foreign nations.
Yeah, but
That's why.
inflation's been pretty low for the previous 15 years at 2%.
And that's why it's gone up, though.
It's gone up because we had COVID, we had supply restrictions, we've had some greed, corporate greed. Let's be honest, and we're greedy. We want to buy stuff. You know, I'm gonna go grab a couple of drinks myself, and I don't have to do that. I
don't think that's necessarily
chose to
greedy,
do that.
though.
No, but I mean, you know, we all have our own personal demands. So to blame it on any one entity, I think, is short-sighted.
No. I wouldn't say it's completely one thing, but I would say a majority of the reason why there is definitely inflation is because we're giving hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars to foreign nations, and it doesn't benefit us. Well, just in the past week alone, we've given $17.2 billion to foreign nations. But that's just in the past week, though.
1,000 billion. That's a lot of money. So let's be factual with our numbers. If we help accordingly. I mean, we're the richest country in the world. I mean, it might be our responsibility. We've extracted every resource you could possibly think of out of this country. Every cubic centimeter of earth has been extracted. Every milliliter of liquid has been extracted. You know, I mean, come on. We've done a lot, and we've earned a lot. We've worked hard, and if you want to share it, we share it. That's how it is.
Wouldn't we put our homeless vets before? Shouldn't we put our homeless vets before foreign nations?
If you could prove to me that they're not, of course. But are you telling me they're not being helped? I mean, if they're not.
No, they're not putting them first before foreign nations. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you don't know about first. And do we really know what the priority is?
We do know, and the reason why we know is because they're still giving, like just in the past 7 days, like you can search it up, 17.2. That's why I bring that number. They've given that much money.
I believe you, but you're implying that we're not.
What have they done for homeless people in the past 7 days?
I don't know. Frankly,
it's not 1 billion. It's not a fraction.
I like to know what it is before I make a judgment.
It's not a fraction though. 17.2 billion. So there's definitely a priority there towards foreign nations versus our nation.
I don't know. I can't speak for why people prioritize X, Y, Z. I mean, we're all different. We all have different ideas and thoughts. All I know is that I don't know all the facts. That I know for sure, that I don't know all the facts.
I agree. I don't know everything either, but I'm just saying, like, from what I do know, I will say from what I do know, because I'm not an expert on everything,
Yeah.
but I do know it's very wrong to give $17.2 billion to foreign nations, and we have homeless veterans on the street that could be helped. And so there's definitely not a priority there because that equivalent amount of money is not being given to them.
I just have to agree with you from the perspective that I don't know how they are or not being helped. I don't know. If you were to tell me categorically with 100% proof they are not being helped, zero, then I would say, oh my gosh, that's a problem. Can you tell me that with specificity that
They're not being helped to the degree of other nations.
You know that for absolute specificity fact?
Yes.
That would be sad that we're not helping our own. Have you ever heard the term put your oxygen mask on first?
No.
It's a term that's used a lot in aircraft safety. When the oxygen mask comes down, they say put yours on first, even if you have children, before your own children. Sounds counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
It's important because you have to be strong so you can help your children. And I agree with the principle that we should, as Americans, we should put our oxygen mask on first to make ourselves strong so that we could help others. Yeah. And then there's the degree, well, how do you help others? Who do you prioritize at what point? I wish I knew all the facts. I don't, so I can't speak intelligently on is it good or bad. I don't know. Yeah. I do know for sure that our veterans, I have the utmost respect for our veterans. I have utmost respect for people who are homeless and houseless. I mean, any one of us could be there in 1 second. We think we're so smart that we can never be there. We could easily be there at any moment. So I have a lot of empathy for that. I don't know about the decisions of priority. I wish I was smarter than what I am to know that. I don't know.
And
so I can't give you an honest answer.
I agree that we don't know all the facts on a personal level. I mean, I don't know. I'm not God, so I can't say every individual's intentions. Yeah. But based off of what we do know, there is a lot of evidence that tells us, made very clearly, that they are prioritizing foreign nations. So I personally, that's the reason why me personally, even if we don't like specific candidates, that's why I personally cannot stand behind the Kamala administration because of the fact that they do prioritize that over American veterans.
Remember, the world is one big circle with a lot of slices in that circle. And to make a conclusion based on one slice of that circle, I think is narrow-minded, frankly. I'm not disputing you because I respect your opinion. I really do. I genuinely respect your opinion. All I'm saying is that let's look at the bigger picture. Like, why is it being done? Are there reasons that I haven't even got a clue as to why they're being done? I don't know why they're being done.
Money laundering.
I don't know. I have no idea.
We know that from RFK Jr.
Well, then I have no idea. So I'm going to just say thank you for sharing that. I believe you because you seem like an honest person. So
Well, you could I'll just say this, because again, I'm not the most educated, you're not the most educated, but what I've done research, if we follow the money trails, we'll see that, like, for example, BlackRock, Chase with James Dimon and Larry Fink, they're giving money to Ukraine and other nations as loans, and then they're getting it back.
I don't understand all that.
Basically, America gives money to other countries as loans, and then they have to purchase American weapons with those loans. So it's money laundering, and they use it as an excuse.
I accept. You seem like an honest person. If you say that, I believe you. I don't know. I'm going to just have to say that. Here's the bottom line. I love this country. I love the people in this country. Let's just work together to make it even a better country than it already is. Because it's fabulous as it is. We can do better. We can. I think we could do the best if we all stick together and work hard together. I really
You got to research.
Research is good too. I appreciate that, but thank you so much.
You guys specifically promoting, like, I guess, what are your views on, like, the whole situation? You know, it's a hot topic, you know, Kamala versus Trump and things like that. Like, where do you guys kind of lean and why?
Where does Amnesty lean or where do I lean?
Yeah, where does Amnesty lean?
I think Amnesty doesn't have, I think it says it on the pitch cards if you look at it.
Okay.
We are independent of any political ideology, so just fighting the root cause of gun violence, so things like education, job training, gun safety training, mental health counseling is a big thing that we advocate, you know, stuff like that. For sure to, you know, reduce, like really get the root cause of, you know, mass violence, gang violence, mass shootings, school shootings, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
We have had like over 200 mass shootings this year, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy. I have a question. So, what do you think, because like this past week, and since you guys are into like politics and religion, I'm sure culture and history.
We aren't.
Oh, okay.
Because we're like free, independent of any political, economic.
Oh, but you guys are into politics though, right? So.
We're independent of any political ideology. We actually are one of the few charities that don't have any political affiliation, actually.
Okay. So I guess, how do you guys feel about this, since you guys don't have political affiliation? I'm assuming you guys are unbiased and independent. How do you guys feel about Joe Biden giving around $17.2 billion in the past week to foreign nations, but is giving very little help to help people during Hurricane Helena?
Right, so I mean, I can't speak on Amnesty's behalf, me personally.
On your behalf, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. Why would you give more money outside America than within America, for sure? Or where do you stand? What's up, sir? Super quick question for you. No worries, take care, man.
Yeah, I think it's actually really crazy, because I think it's great and all to help other nations to an extent, but when your own nation is like crippled and you can't help your own nation above others, I think that's where the line is kind of divided, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you guys just like, I guess like, since you guys are centrist, what are your views on everything?
Well, I mean, I can't speak on Amnesty's behalf.
Yeah, we definitely can't do like any interviews or anything like that. Like,
we're just talking about what you guys stand for.
Okay, yeah, we can't do anything like that. I apologize, you guys. They don't allow us to do like stuff like that, like any type of interviews.
Yeah, I can't speak on Amnesty's behalf.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about on your own personal behalf.
Yeah, we can't do that while we're representing the charity. Definitely apologize about that.
Yeah. So Trump or Kamala 24?
Kamala.
Well, wait, why, please? We want to hear different opinions, please. Why Kamala?
Why not?
What do you think about them giving $17.2 billion in the last week to Ukraine and Israel?
I'm just focused on he's an idiot, so.
But would you still vote for Kamala, even though they're money laundering money from other foreign countries?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Versus his crimes.
Oh, okay. Wow. You Trump or Kamala 24?
Kamala.
Why Kamala?
I just believe in her politics.
I don't know nothing about
No. Okay. What do you think about them giving $17.2 billion in the last week to foreign nations? Okay. Trump or Kamala 24?
Neither one of them.
Neither one?
Neither.
Why do you say that?
I have no hope in our bureaucracy today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
When you have 34 felonies and you're the ex-president of the country, it's not a good thing.
And you?
Not a good
Same. No way.
It loses confidence in the voter system, and it makes us really don't confide much in it.
And I have a question, because I know some people would say to not vote for any, but like obviously like we have to choose one, because one's going to end up becoming president. So if you would have to choose like the lesser of the two evils, I guess, in other words, who would you say would be the lesser of the two evils?
Kamala Harris.
Same.
Okay. And why would you say that?
You would say, you're saying who would we choose?
No, I'm saying why would you choose Kamala Harris?
I'm a Democrat.
Okay.
Same. I'm a Democrat.
Yeah.
Not only that, I like some of her views on some of the stuff that's going on. However, just don't have a lot of faith in our voting system today, unfortunately. Not only that, most felons cannot vote today, but when we have a president with 34 felonies, able to run again, it just gives you a really gray outlook on things.
I have a question now, since I guess like, I know you guys are, I guess, independent, but if you had to choose, you would say Kamala. And so if that's the case, what do you guys think about Kamala and Biden giving $17.2 billion in the past week to like Ukraine and Israel and all that stuff, but we have homeless veterans? What do you guys think about that?
I really don't think it's a good idea to be doing that kind of stuff when you have people here in our country that are suffering. Housing is one of the most expensive things that we're dealing right now, along with groceries. And I really feel like the politicians need to focus on what affects us on a daily basis, the basic humane things that affects us on a daily basis. They really need to focus on housing and also making it more affordable where people can live and still buy their groceries and still be able to do what they really need to do here in this country. Stop sending all the funds out of here. I'm sorry. It's a lack of confidence, and I'm just not feeling you keep sending all this money everywhere but dedicating it here in the United States where it is so needed, where homelessness and hunger is a big problem.
And I agree. Like, I was actually personally homeless last month. And so, I mean, it's hard. Like, I was homeless since like the 8th grade on and off. And so, like, I can really speak to what it means to be homeless.
Where are you from today?
Like, what do you mean?
Where are you guys from?
Oh, from here in Florida?
No, are you with Channel 8? Or
Oh, no.
Are you just independent?
Yeah, we're independent. Yeah, I'm not like a Democrat or liberal. Right. I'm not a part of...
You're just getting a feel on what the people are feeling.
Yeah, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I don't have like a specific side. I just kind of... Yeah, I just kind of like since you guys said, if you were to choose Kamala, that's why I asked you.
People, I don't care if it's Bay News 9, we can be minding our own business. Yeah. We got stopped like, what do you think about the housing crisis? And we were like,
wait, really?
Seriously. We looked at the news like 30 minutes later and it was right there. Like, alrighty then, okay. But we had views on it, and not only that, big opinions. Yeah.
It's tough though, but I would say, because I mean, I've been homeless in this economy, and I would say in the past like 4 years, to be honest, like with the Biden and Kamala like administration, her as vice president, it's like the economy, the inflation has gone high because we've given hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries. That's the only reason why, like, even if you were to choose the lesser of two evils, I would say personally that Kamala would not be the better option. I would say Trump would be. Even though I don't agree with him on a lot of other things.
Because of Trump's experience that you're saying that, because I can somewhat see that as well.
Yeah, because I don't agree with him on everything, but I do believe that he has a better representation for we the people. Like when Trump was in office, I was eating better. I had more money. My money meant something.
Well,
but like now,
Trump, as crazy as some of the comments are, he did do some things, even right down trickle to the African American community with some funds that nobody else was willing to do. Yeah. And it happened. So, yeah.
And so, like, that's why I say, like,
stimulus package, I mean, Trump gave us a little money. It wasn't nothing extraordinary, but listen, it was a time of need. Yeah. And he did it. So, Kamala, I think it's just because I'm Democratic. I don't think it's that you've really met the mark yet, but because I am Democrat, I would go with Kamala. But so far as experience, I would like her to get some more hands-on and to deal with the people a lot more often.
I completely agree with you, and that's why I'm independent. So I don't just vote for Trump because I'm a Republican, because I'm not. Right. But just based off of like comparing the two unbiasedly, I do think Trump's the better option. Would you say, after maybe this conversation, would you be more into like maybe voting for Trump potentially in November? Or
I really would not disclose that today because it's so much more out there right now, and every day it's changing. And I'm big on, if you say it, do it. Because I'm that person that's going to be knocking at your little office door over there saying you promised that. And we put you there. And you did not keep your word. And that's where the trust comes in at, that people just don't trust our voting system.
I agree with you. We can't really like make a difference to that extent. Like I can't choose who wins technically, but we could technically try to vote, and if a lot of us vote for a specific candidate, we'll get a specific result, hopefully.
I've been voting for Cat Williams every year. And not only because he joked about it one year, but because he's smart, he's intelligent, he cares about people. I mean, with all this stuff that with Diddy happening, like you see that he's been exposing this stuff for a long time, you know, but he's been smart about it, and he's been taking care of the people who are under his wing, you know. So sorry, Joe, sorry, Kamala, but not sorry. Like, you're not doing us justice. At the end of the day, you're not doing us justice.
So just independent. I feel like that's like a big thing over here. A lot of people are kind of just like, no matter what way, it's probably not going to make much of a difference. But I think like because, you know, a lot of Trump supporters will say, make America great again. I believe we really need to make America born again. And a lot of people, they need Jesus Christ. They need a true fulfillment, because a lot of these things are like temporary. They'll give you pleasure temporarily, but they will not give you eternal fulfillment, because we still have good days, bad days, you know, because we're all human. But we need eternal fulfillment, and that only comes from the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ. You know,
everybody has their source. You know, I grew up Christian, but not everybody resolves with that, or, you know, resonates with that. So, you know, everybody has a source energy, and at the end of the day, when we look at like each other, everybody is just God experiencing itself. And however way you look at that, like, you're a fellow human. One of the homeless people that came up to ask for a sample the other day, you know, he was a fellow human. You know, we're here to take care of each other. We're not here to judge each other. We're not here to spite each other. And I think that if, you know, our system is failing us, then we as a community can join together to do better together. And also do better for ourselves, because a lot of us aren't taking care of ourselves, and then that's making it harder for us to show up properly in our community and our families. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, whenever I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and I'm not like, I wasn't like always really Christian. I was into like spirituality and things like that. I thought it was true spirituality, but it wasn't. And then I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and it's just like I felt no judgment in Christ, because he has this everlasting peace and love and joy that doesn't come from this world. And I thought by seeking this spirituality that I was growing more spiritual, but I was actually being deceived, because when I read the Bible, I learned that, you know, even Lucifer masquerades himself as an angel of light. And so these like angels of light and things like that, it's not really from God, it's actually satanic, even though a lot of people are deceived by it. And it's interesting, because the more I read the Bible, the more I see these things, like different religions, they had revelation from angels of light, but they all preach different messages, because it doesn't come from God.
Do they all preach different messages? Because from my understanding, being somebody who does follow most religions, like even down to one of the first ones being Jainism, they all teach love. At the end of the day, the majority of them, the baseline of it is love. Now, the other things that humans have taken and misconstrued over time, that's not up to us. That's not really God's message. That's not up to us receiving it, but it's up to us to what we choose to do with it. So angels of light can be disguised. People can masquerade as something that they're not. At the same time, I think we have to give the benefit of the doubt as to what really works for who. So for me, I don't feel safe and comforted in most of the churches that I've been in, just because of not the church itself, but the people. And for me, I've learned to make the outside, which to me is the original church, my church again. And I'm connecting back to the roots of my home, back to the roots of my source. And I'm able to recognize, again, the God within me is the God within you.
Okay, that's actually really, I'm so glad we actually ran into you, because it's like nice to have people with opinions, because a lot of people don't.
And if they do, they're all like, yeah.
yeah. So it's actually, no, I'm happy we ran into you, because it's good to have different opinions. But like I personally, like, okay, so whenever I look at different religions, for example, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, there's like really popular religions, Buddhism, whatever. And so like whenever I look at all religions, pretty much most of them say that Jesus exists. However, they kind of like have a different perception of Jesus. So like if you look at Muslims, they think he's a prophet, Christians, God. If you look at the Hebrews, they'll just say that he existed, but he was like some kind of like Pharisee of the time or something like that. So I find it very interesting, because there is a common denominator, like the golden rule, between all belief systems. However, there are obviously distinctions that kind of like, you know, conflict with each other. So I think what's very important is for us, if we look at history, we know Jesus existed, but the question is, who is the true Jesus, right? Was he just a prophet? Was he God? Was he just someone who came to teach us Christ consciousness? What was Jesus all about? And I think that's like an important question. And so whenever I look at the message 2,000 years ago, when Jesus was actually here on earth historically, I don't see himself calling himself a prophet. I see him saying that I am the I am. And he was prophesied as Emmanuel, which means God with us, which means he's God in the flesh. And so I believe he is God, but I also don't believe that he came to teach Christ consciousness, because when we look at Genesis chapter 3, the very first lie that the serpent told Eve was that ye are gods. And so he told us this lie, and it's a really great deception because many people believed it, and I once did myself. And so the very first lie he said is ye are gods. And so it's a common theme that's packaged today in modern day spirituality and coexist mentality in a lot of these people. And so I kind of noticed that it's a very, very popular. So what are your, I guess,
So then, what about the book of Enoch, where God says, split a piece of wood, there I am. Lift a rock, there I am. You have found me there. What if when he says everything is nothing but a mere idea play of God's own liking, God's own creation? To me, when I read the book of Enoch and when I read it to the simplicity, I actually have it on my phone right now, the whole actual verse of it. I'm going to share it with you guys.
Okay, yeah, sure.
For a little refresh. It's my favorite, and it's kind of been almost like one of my mantras to help me come back to what I feel is myself. Because when we stray off the path a little bit, we kind of get unfamiliar with who we are and how we're behaving.
I personally, I don't believe in the book of Enoch because it's not canonical and it doesn't align with the rest of Scripture, but I'd be interested in seeing the verse if you could find it.
Is it in the original Bible book?
No, the book of Enoch isn't. So we have 66 canonical books within the original biblical text. So the Bible was obviously written in Koine Greek, Paleo-Hebrew, and Aramaic. And so we have the original text, but obviously they're translated into English, Spanish, Italian, modern day languages. But we still have the original text, and they don't have the book of Enoch within them. The book of Enoch was actually seen to be a Gnostic gospel that was just around 50, 100 years old. So it's like a fabrication. It's not like, it's not genuinely a part of the Word of God, because I once actually believed in the book of Enoch as well too. That's why I say that. So
do you remember this part where he says, I am the light that is over all, I am the all, which means I am that I am, I am that I am, I am that I am, meaning I can't experience this without it being in my reality.
Oh, so when he says I am that I am, he's referring to the Father God, because when he says I am the I am, that's a Hebrew name only given to the Father God. So again, I don't believe in that text, but even within that text, if he is saying that, the I am is referring to the Father, because Jesus, that's why he was stoned and crucified, because the Jews didn't believe he was God, because he proclaimed to be God in the flesh. He says that I am the I am. That's why the Jews, they stoned him and they crucified him, because they were like, how can you say you're God? That's blasphemy. But he's like, I am that I am.
And he also said, anything you can do, I can do it more. That the power resides within us. We just have to recognize who we are again.
So whenever he, in that, sorry, it's just in that context, he's talking about more like prophecies and things like that, and blessings. So in Mark chapter 16, verses 16 through 20, it talks about a list of things we'll be able to do. And that's a blessing. That's how much Christ loves us. He gives us the strength and the power and the authority to do those things, because without him, we're nothing. So if I don't have Christ, I'm not going to be able to inherit the kingdom of God. I'm not saved. I don't have fulfillment in my life. But with him, I am saved. And that's what Christ teaches. It's an eternal thing, not an external thing. So other religions will teach you you're saved by your works, be nice, be a good person. But in Christianity, it's like true humility. And I see true Christianity, not modern day Christianity, but true Christianity that Christ taught. It's a belief system where you walk in true humility and you realize that you're unworthy of God's grace and mercy, and you accept Jesus Christ and his redemption, his work on the cross, that what he did for you alone is what saves you. Not praying 5 times a day to a rock, or not doing, fasting, things like that. Those things are great if you do good works, but those in itself don't save you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate your perspective. But like I said, everything is up to perspective. So for you, you could feel that way, and for me, I might feel a little different. I think that we're saying the same thing, just in different languages. Because along the lines of, I feel like I'm born again over and over and over. And I call Source God, I call him Source, I call he, her, she, it, whatever, because at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know. I truly don't know. Who am I to say what is absolute truth and what is not? I just know my truth and the way that I experience God in my day-to-day. And the way I experience God when I'm in my low lows and when I'm in my high highs. You know, I see when I'm being too self-righteous because him, they, it, whatever shows me, source shows me when I'm being too self-righteous. Source shows me when I'm on the right path and I'm doing good. Source shows me the impact I have on others. You know, source shows me how to mold myself every day through and through. And it's not an external thing because Christ exists within me. Christ exists within all of us, especially if we choose to have it there, if we allow this space for him and then to be there. So.
No, yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think it's important that we allow Christ in us. I just wanted to make the distinction because I used to believe in a lot of things like Christ consciousness, pineal gland, and astral projection. And God really came to me one night and I saw like a big demon beside me in my bed. And it's like what, you know, it's just such a, like, you know what people call sleep paralysis? Yeah. Right? So it wasn't because I was doing anything the wrong way or anything like that. It's just because I truly believe that God was coming to me in my bed and he allowed this fallen angel to come beside me and I was like so spooked out. And then at that point is when I saw like, okay, what I'm believing isn't true and I need to start looking for that source of truth, like the genuine source of truth, because there has to be an objective truth, right? Like this tablecloth is black and that has to be an objective truth. And so I was like, what is the objective truth? And I started looking into different religions. I looked into Islam, I almost became Muslim. I looked into Buddhism, I almost became Buddhist. I looked into so many different religions and the one that made sense historically, factually, without my emotions, and just looking at just pure facts and even other religions pointing to it, I saw that Jesus Christ was God, and that's the only thing that made sense.
Well, if you didn't have any emotional tie to it, then you wouldn't be as passionate as you are. You wouldn't be spreading the word as you are because you believe in it so deeply because it's a part of you. So if you didn't have any emotional attachment to it, then you wouldn't be doing what you're doing right now.
Oh no, that's now that I am saved. But before I was saved, I didn't have any emotional attachment to Christianity. So it was like a completely unbiased, unfiltered route. I was just like, what is the truth? And then whenever I was researching to what the truth is, that's how I found God. I found him in Jesus Christ because Jesus Christ is God. And he didn't teach us to be gods or little g's. Because there's also a verse where he does refer to people as gods, but it's taken out of context. The very next verse after that says, ye are gods, and ye shall die as mortal men. That's a form, and you see like parables all the time in the Bible, it's a form of sarcasm to say we're not actually gods. Because if we were, why would we die like regular men, you know? So I think it's important for us to read the word. And I don't know like you personally, but like, you know, it's important for us to read the Bible because we can't, like you said, we can't get off of that path. And like Jesus says, narrow is the way to heaven and broad is the way to destruction with all of these religions and things like that. You know? I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I put in a lot of effort and these videos are not cheap to make whatsoever. So if you really enjoy this content and you want me to continue making content like this, please go ahead and give to my PayPal. It will be in the link below. You can also become a member on our channel to financially support our content on Patreon or our website at thinkingmindsministry.com. I really do appreciate all of your love, all your support, all your prayers, all your financial giving and donations, because it really does help me to keep on going full time. I love you guys so much. And I think the main message that I want to have collectively throughout this whole conversation and this whole video is the fact that I think it's very important for us as Christians to be involved in politics, because when we look at politics oftenly, we kind of see it as like this thing that should be separate from the church, when in reality that's not really how it should be according to the word of God. Because according to the Bible, it makes it very clear that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against evil principalities in dark and high places. So whenever we see the evil wickedness going on in the world and the satanic policies that are being enacted by different satanic tyrannical governments, this is all as a result of a fallen world, a fallen nature, and dark and evil principalities and high places controlling these politicians and influencers and celebrities as their puppets. And this is the reality, and this is the message that I want to go ahead and spread. So if this is a message that you can go ahead and stand behind, I would appreciate your prayers and financial support. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, share it with someone that you believe this could be edifying for, and God bless you guys.